Alright guys, now I want to talk a little bit about Sweet Baby Inc. and the DEI infested games that we've seen come out in the last few months here. I'm going to stay up a little late tonight, get this video made, so if you guys appreciate all the coverage, maybe you can consider liking and subscribing, and if you really enjoy all the coverage, there is the option to join as a minimalist on the channel for about $3 a month, so pretty cheap all the way around, and it goes a long way to support the channel. So recently we've seen a lot of controversy involving Rocksteady and Sweet Baby Inc. and all this DEI nonsense being injected into the video game industry, and now they have finally revealed the new character in Suicide Squad and have confirmed that yes, Victoria Frias, or Freeze I guess it'd be pronounced, is in fact LGBT, and her lover is still alive, frozen I believe, who knows. I don't know what they're going to try to cook up for this character, and frankly I don't care. And again, for anybody who's even interested, you know, hopefully you picked up your free copy of this game because it was available for free yesterday on Prime Day. And I do not think it's going to matter because even though you can't track the actual player count on Epic, you can see on Steam right now, nobody is playing this game. 221 players currently playing, and it's only about 11:15 at night right now, so not even late at night. Gamers, we stay up all night. Come on, guys. This is pathetic. A peak of a little over 13,500 players 6 months ago. And again, you know, if I made a game and 13,000 people played it, I'd be ecstatic, but I also wouldn't spend $200 million on a gigantic woke piece of garbage like this. That being said, an even bigger, gigantic smelly turd of a game that has been destroyed in its now, I believe, second beta that's been available is Concord, a game that is so full of completely awful-looking character designs that are designed entirely for the modern audience, mind you, people who need to see themselves represented in games. This entire idea that if you can't see some fat, ugly, lesbian-looking character or some androgynous man with, you know, a half-shaved head or whatnot, that you can't feel like the game represents you. No more this idea that, you know, we can all identify with Master Chief or Doomslayer or Mario. No, you have to see yourself in the game to actually enjoy the game, because that is what the modern audience demands. Now, ironically, these articles are doing their best to cover for, you know, this woke piece of trash game, but they have to admit that there's already concern over the lack of players in the open beta. Now, mind you, just a few days back, there was a closed beta for this game where they gave out tons of free keys. I believe it was 4 free keys for anybody who had already download or purchased the game, you know, did like a pre-order on the game. So they were giving out keys left and right to anybody who had a copy. And then they were giving out allegedly as many as 40 keys to the top streamers and content creators who were going to be playing this game. Currently, the open beta, so you don't have to pre-order the game, the open beta for Concord has 1,034 people in it right now on Steam. That's it. A little over 1,000 people. They didn't even hit a peak of 2,400 today. And this game is free right now. The beta is open to the public. You do not have to spend the $50 on this piece of trash game, and they still can't get people to play it. This is the effect that DEI has in these games to where nobody even cares anymore. We are happy to go through our back catalogs. We are happy to play indie games. We are happy to look for, you know, enjoyment elsewhere in our life. This no longer cuts it, especially when you're talking about a game that doesn't reinvent the wheel. They don't do anything drastically different. It doesn't sound like anything in the game is executed like better than any other shooter that's out there. And then the character models themselves, it's all the pronoun nonsense, the obese characters, the hideous looking, you know, designs. It's just this idea that you have to make things ugly to, you know, be modern and sensitive to our current woke audience. That doesn't even exist. These people aren't even playing video games, and if they are, they're playing free ones. They're not spending their hard-earned money on it because none of them have jobs. Let's be honest about it. That brings us to our main topic of this video, Flintlock, a game we have covered extensively on this channel. Many controversies involving this game. We can't get into every one of them today. Needless to say, it has been saturated with DEI and the, you know, the likes of Sweet Baby Inc. for months. We have gone over every little aspect of this game, and it finally released. I forgot that it even came out. And I have Game Pass. I buy Game Pass really cheap through third parties. And yet, I wasn't even thinking about this game releasing because I, first off, never had any plans to play it. And secondly, there was no fanfare. There was absolutely no hype leading into the release of this game. And despite the attempts at decent reviews and trying their hardest to hype this game up, nobody cares. Even The Verge cannot sell this game as anything more than mediocre at best. Dread Roberts points out that at one point, the only person in the Siege of Dawn demo, the free demo of the game, might have been Kim Belair herself, seeing as there was one person playing it. Again, one person playing it for free on Steam. Ouch. Then, of course, Grums brings up the fact that the game Flintlock has had a long history of this wokeness. And again, we'll kind of go through the very, very condensed Reader's Digest version. He says, I covered how the former CEO and COO ruined the game by hiring SBI in past tweets, race-swapping the main character and using company funds to promote diversity initiatives in the COO's personal VXF company. And again, that was a video that we did months ago. While they eventually left, it seems the game never recovered. Then, of course, member Cabrutus Rambo over at DEI Detected, at that time it was Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, reached out to the developers for Flintlock for proof that they no longer were working with Sweet Baby Inc., and they never got back to him. And so now what we have is the shill media, like we mentioned, The Verge, trying their best to create a positive spin for this game, despite the fact that Flintlock is just mediocre. And again, I am actually curious. I might consider downloading this game from Game Pass because, again, Game Pass, unfortunately for a lot of these AAA studios, is not helping the impending games collapse that we're going to be seeing here in the next few years. Due to the fact that Game Pass, again, not making enough money. They're probably not paying top dollar to have these games on their streaming service, on their platform. They are not, people aren't buying the games through Game Pass if they can just play them for, $10 a month. And so this is contributing to a lot of the financial deficit of the games industry right now, on top of the fact that these games all get so bloated by bringing on these third-party consultation firms. So all these games have incredibly high budgets, and then they know that they can't sell them at full price. They, lease them out essentially to Xbox Game Pass, who's also not making money. Game Pass, raises their prices to counteract it, much like we've seen Disney Plus and Hulu and every other streaming service do. And it leads to this nightmare that we're living in, where all we're getting is bad products filled with DEI. Everyone's charging more for it, but nobody wants to play it. And so this article here from PC Gamer even says it's basically a 60 out of 100. And down here, it just, sums it up as a serviceable slice of Souls-like fantasy that doesn't do enough to stand out from an overcrowded genre. Again, not hard enough to be a Souls game, too mediocre to be anything else. It's easy, so it's no real challenge, no replayability to it. Remember, Kotaku Australia, before they shut down, David Smith, the managing editor over there, tried to sell this game as if it was Forspoken, but actually good. And Forspoken, a game that was so bad that it has been widely mocked and ridiculed all over the internet, was also simped for by The Verge. Ash Parrish tried to actually spin this game in some sort of positive light back in the day. Ash Parrish, a woman who we've covered also extensively on this channel for her insane takes and anti-gamer rhetoric, massively connected to Alyssa Mercante over at Kotaku. So these two women work hand in hand to attack and smear gamers. And when you play a game like Flintlock and you say this game sucks, it's mediocre, it doesn't reinvent the wheel, it doesn't do anything that we haven't seen before, you are smeared as a racist by these people. But the reality is, Flintlock is a dead game. We all knew it would be dead on arrival. There's no way to track the Game Pass numbers, but as people on Twitter pointed out to me, if there were big numbers on Game Pass, they would show you those numbers. So currently right now, again, a little after 11:25 at night, there are only 282 people playing this game on Steam, a peak of just under 650 on launch day. This is a disaster. This is completely inexcusable for any AAA studio, anybody who has big funding. And I get it, not every one of these studios is what you would call AAA, sure. But they spend their money like they are. And unfortunately, if that causes them to go under and they have to lay people off, the reality is tons of these studios, it's not just the consultation companies, they are embedded with developers who have the same ideology, the same mindset, that diversity is more important than profits, it's more important than appealing to your customers, and it's always going to lead to these games dying the minute they come out. I mean, they're dead before they even released. Let's be honest about it. People are clued in, we are locked into what's going on. And much like I've seen a lot of memes talk about, a lot of people have, mentioned it. It's not just, oh, you don't want woke video games. We've seen what's happened. Globally, we've seen politically, economically, socially, everything gets woke, and then now it's trickled into our entertainment, and we have nothing left to enjoy that isn't filled with wokeness. And that's why the pushback. People are saying enough is enough. We have to start slow and get it out of our entertainment, and then we can try to figure out where else we can fight wokeness when we see it. So hopefully you enjoy this coverage. Let me know what you think about Flintlock. Let me know if there's more to the story than this, or if this is going to be like a one and done. I think, honestly, after next week, no one's going to even remember that this game existed, and we can move on to see what kind of flop Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be. But you let me know in the comments down below. Check out the website, minimaleffort.shop, and I will catch you guys later. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.